Hey, Nick.
Yes, sir.
There's Professor Seiji. Oh, you're so handsome today. Not that you're not usually handsome.
Hi, Geshe, how are you?
The guy behind you is more handsome.
Yeah, look at that.
So your mom went back to Guadalajara?
Yeah, she returned yesterday.
So the Arao family is relaxing today.
Yeah, it's super quiet morning today.
Now you appreciate that the family lives in Guadalajara.
Well, there are good things and bad things, so
Yeah.
I do miss them. Yeah.
Mr. Nick.
What's Maitri doing with his chick me? Chick me.
Very good. He's doing well, actually.
Good.
Yes, sir. You were gonna say?
Anything you want to talk about or anything, or?
Oh, no, I think we're okay to just get started.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming.
Seiji, do you want to introduce your book or anything you want to say about it?
Yeah, so this is very exciting because we are just starting with a new book, the Bodhisattvas guide to the Bodhisattvas way of life. And, I don't know. I think I heard Ben saying yesterday, I've been also enjoying. I know Tim was saying the biographies of the different authors because they had incredible lives. I remember I was talking about this with Geshe, and he told me that the biography of Master Shantideva was a little dry, and I couldn't believe it because already is incredible. We were talking about a little bit about what lineages that he had. And there are basically three: the widespread activities, the profound, and the ocean wave lineages that came to Lord Atisha and then eventually to Master Shantideva. What else? So yeah, basically we had just the biography of Master Shantideva, how he was filled with incredible teachers and started practicing the secret teachings at a very young age. Then we jumped into the text, and I believe we just saw the structure of the text mainly in some Sanskrit rules. That's pretty much it. We're at the beginning of the book.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, we'll start. I'd like to welcome John and Carol Foley, who are big helpers of ALL for the last 200 years, and also for the mixed nuts. And we really appreciate you guys, and we appreciate all the things we've done together. And thank you for coming. Thank you for being an example for it. Thank you for helping so many people. John Foley has this very cool idea. He's talking almost every night at some big conference because he's a famous Blue Angel pilot, and he gets paid nice pay every night. And then he tells the companies that invite him, he says, we will give a donation to a charity from this payment, and you help pick the charity. I think that was the brilliant thing. So the companies that he speaks to, they get to help pick the charity that receives part of the payment that they're giving to John Foley. And that's a very cool thing. And then Carol runs all the donations. And so if you have to choose between one of them, talk to Carol. Because that's it. And we have Noor now, behind Seiji, who's Noor Ibrahim, who's running all the donations for DCI and the college, SCIM. And she's trying to emulate Carol. And she gave away 220,000 in December. Yeah, and she's doing good. I wish I had her job. and lots of cool projects. We just gave a lot of help to Syria and Turkey during the earthquake. And we have 2.5 Ukrainian refugees coming this month, and we're supporting them. And the group here in Sedona is going to support them and help them get jobs and help them live here and protect their families. So it's cool. All right, let's get to work. Seiji.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta thank Seiji. Seiji's mom was here, Seiji's dad was here, and Seiji's mom's mother was here. And they came to the cafe and we had many enjoyable days together. And I thank them for Seiji because all of the success of this building, much of it, is coming from his work. He himself runs DCI and SCIM without a lot of other help. And he never complains, and he just completely overworks nicely. And and that's how we have money, for example, to help people, help refugees and stuff. And he takes all the responsibility for that. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And I thank you for that. Hope you have a long life. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me get these guys out of the way. All right, so Seiji's text is the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life by Master Shantideva. It's about 1,300 years old. And it's a beautiful, it's probably one of the most beautiful pieces of literature ever written in history. It's all in poetry, and it's all about it's basically a guidebook on the 6 perfections and the activities of a bodhisattva. I had offered to write a commentary to it in Tibetan, which is something I always wanted to do because there is no great commentary in Tibetan. I don't have time, so I'm just decided we'll do the root text first. We'll translate the root text first. So we'll go through the whole root text, and we'll learn that first. And then it's also a good review for me, and then I'll write a commentary, and then we'll translate that together, okay? Because I always wanted to write one in Tibetan, and there is no great commentary to which is it's strange, but in Tibetan there's 2 or 3 great Sanskrit commentaries, but not in Tibetan. So we're taking this opportunity in this class because there is a good Sanskrit text available. We're learning some Sanskrit together, which we've never done in this class before. So we're actually formally learning Sanskrit as part of this series of classes with Seiji. And me and Christina Cassiger came up with an idea called organic Sanskrit, which means when I learned Sanskrit, my professor at Princeton gave me the grammar book and asked me to memorize it. And he quizzed me every week. And it was extremely boring. And I forgot everything. And what we thought, Christina and I came up with this idea, and Marianne is helping us, as we encounter rules of Sanskrit, we learn them. So we call it organic. It's an organic process. It's not an artificial learning a language. You're gonna learn stuff as we go through the Bodhisattva's way of life. And then hopefully it'll be easier for you to remember, because you can say, oh, that's in the verse where Shantideva flew away in the sky or something like that. Okay, so hopefully if you learn Sanskrit organically by studying an actual book, it'll be more fun. And then Christina and her team are slicing out the Sanskrit parts, which are usually like 3, 4, 5 minutes each. And they're making an online dictionary, a video dictionary, a video grammar book and a video dictionary. So if you don't know a word, you look it up in the video series, and you see us in the class talking about the word, and you learn it through videos, which is how people learn nowadays. So that's the idea of this class. We're gonna put the link. It's a Google link, or it's a Google Drive link. The link is in the chat, I hope. And I checked it out because I thought they probably messed it up, but it's actually done very well, and I'm very happy with it, which is unusual for me. So I have to say you guys are doing a good job. And by the time we finish the book, you will have a Sanskrit course based on the book. And I think it's very cool. And if you're a translator for the mixed nuts, if you're an Abhidharma translator, for example, you can look up the word that you meet and you can hear the video about it. And I think that's cool. So we're feeding 2 deer with 1 apple in this class. We changed this saying. All right. We are also reading Master Shantideva's biography from a famous teacher of one of the high teachers of Tibet. And he wrote a biography of Master Shantideva. The biography is an adventure story. It's very, very exciting. He's naughty. I really like him. And so we're going to hear some of his biography. Each time we have a class, we will hear some of his biography. By the time we finish the book, you will hear his whole biography from the great, there's 2-volume work of the Lamrim Masters, which was input by ALL about 10 years ago. They found it and they input it, which is very cool. Okay, so here we go. We also have a cool thing. We have Aisha and Anatole Nguyen, Aisha Skoufalas and Anatole Nguyen in Guadalajara. And Aisha has become a Sanskrit master. She's become our ALL Sanskrit book finder. And she has proven herself. She's now one of the greatest resources of Sanskrit in the world. And she has just really mastered it. And she's got contacts everywhere in Asia, everywhere in Europe. She can get a book from any book I need, she finds it. And it's amazing. And I'd like to congratulate them. This last weekend, their Green Stretch Pen program in Mexico, they had one of the great openings with 500 teachers from the southern state of Tabasco. 500 teachers came to the program. They were trained in healthy eating, yoga, and the pen, which is why it's called Green Stretch Pen. And the Minister of Education for the state came to the program and praised it lavishly, and she was really happy with it. So it looks like they're going to be able to spread through about 23 million children in Mexico. Okay, so it's really cool. So I'd like to thank Aisha. In her spare time, she found a great Sanskritist named David Regal and his wife Nancy Regal. They live in Colorado, and they have volunteered, and they refuse to take payment to give us new editions of the books that we're using. So they do all the research. They compare like 20 different editions, and they create a new edition just for the mixed nuts. And they have finished the first section of the Bodhisattvas. So we have a completely new and complete Sanskrit version, which has been put together from about 300 years of Sanskrit scholarship. And they just supply us with this Sanskrit. So it's very highly accurate, and they refuse to take payment. So at least we should send them gushy love letters, okay? All right, so here we go. Seiji, can you please read? Okay.
And did you want to start with a biography?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Duh. I got all excited about bragging about you guys. Okay, here's the biography. We're going to start. We'll do 1 or 2 classes with the biography, and then we'll get to the text. Okay. Okay, next checking. Seiji's reading. Geshe-la's drinking tea.
Okay.
There.
Chinang ki yengwa tamche chete nang tu yang tak jok la se chik tu shukpe salam tun por chun shing lepa kun le lapa kun le tu patang do de kun la tu pas
You just said it perfectly.
kun le tu pa sokyal seki che alap poche tompe ten che son pa sok.
Good. Okay. So Master Shantideva was born into a royal family. He was a prince. He was supposed to take over the throne, and his father passed away. He was supposed to take the throne in the morning. He had a dream the night before, Seiji.
Oh yeah, that Manjushri, Manjushri, was it? Sat on his throne and said that that was his, something like that.
Yeah, he had a dream the night before that he was supposed to become the king, and Manjushri was sitting on the throne and said, "It's improper for the student to sit on the teacher's throne." So Shantideva took it as a message that he should not become a king, and instead he should become a Buddhist master. And this is what happened. Chinangi, what's a yangwa, you guys?
Distraction.
Yeah, distractions from on the outside, like food or sex or too much work, and distractions on the inside, like jealousy or anger, things like that. And all of those distractions, hiche. This is the same verb as doji hippa. Yeah, he cut it. He cut those distractions. And he put his mind nangdu. He focused his mind on the inside. Okay, he focused his mind on the inside. Yandaku chokla, che chiktu, ekagra. Single-pointedly. Shukpe. And Jun is an ancient high honorific, Drowa. He reached a Sa and Lam very tumbo, Towo.
For high level path.
Yeah, he reached the Bodhisattva levels and he reached the 5 paths. He started going through the 10 Bodhisattva levels and he started going through the 5 paths. Jun reached it. And Lapa, he studied Lapa Kuntu. Who wrote that? Shiksha Samuchaya.
He wrote it.
He wrote it. Okay. By the way, he's known for the Bodhisattva Avatar, the guide to the Bodhisattva's way of life. He wrote another famous book called Lapa Kuntu, which is a compendium of the trainings, the Buddhist trainings. And I've often wanted to teach that one. And so I got a copy and I started reading it. And unfortunately, there's no Shantideva in it. It's just a collection of sayings from other books. And it's not very fun at all. So I never taught it. And I don't know anyone who's ever taught it. So, and Dode Kuntu means compendium of the sutras. There's 2 of those. And one is by Atisha, I think. And Gyalseki Chopa Lapoche Tumbe Tenjet Tsomba wrote a lot of different books about how to follow the life of a bodhisattva.
It means he was Arya Bodhisattva very early in life. He reached Tonglam very early in life.
I don't know. Did it say so far, Seiji, that he reached Tonglam?
I can't remember.
Not clearly.
It said Sa. Well, there's only one. If you hit one Sa, you hit Tonglam.
Yeah, if you hit the first Sa, you're a bodhisattva and an Arya already. Okay.
Oh, through the yeah. Okay.
I don't recall any incident where they explain it. Okay. All right, you're up against Seiji. Ben, can you check him and then
Okay.
have other people read?
Nengdu kepe chawa nampa suntang salam kongne kongtu parwa tang so tang popa powa dang
Oh, it's
Popa.
right.
Yeah,
Probably is
good
Popa,
instinct, Seiji.
dang rang tang shenki serap kya tong trangpe ngompar shep. Sorry?
Yeah, Trempe.
Trempe ngompar shepa tang sutru ki yula tokpa meparn jukpa sok nangdu kyal se wang chung ki sepa pe.
Okay, good. Nangdu means what, Seiji? Nangdu. Nang. On the inside, okay, he became a kepa, pandita, and he mastered the three activities of a sage. And here's the reference. Let's read it together, Seiji. Here's the definition of the three activities of a sage. So in the mixed mass translations, whenever they say the three this or the five that, we go get it and we put it in the translations. So here we go.
Okay. Che se sum
Yep.
kep chawa sunte chöki nin tun chepatang tetun sete darsha kopatang
Chepa.
chepatang. Thank you. Tsuklak ni ki tun kangrong lekpa sompa cheso.
Okay, cool. So these are the three activities of a sage which he mastered at a young age. Che, say che, tse, tsom. Che, tse, tsom.
So,
Here's the definition of chepa. Chuki Nyingden chepa. He could explain the Nyingden of the che. What's that mean, you guys?
send them meaning.
Heart essence.
The core meaning of the Dharma. He could explain it. So he mastered the first thing he could teach. He could teach orally. Okay. Secondly, sepa is one of the ancient words for tsupa. What is that, you guys?
Debate.
Debate, argue.
Darsha chupa is a very unusual ancient word that means slice up something into small pieces. Okay. He was very good at logic and debate. Okay, slicing people up. Okay. Darsha chupa. It's a very unusual word and very beautiful. So he became a master at that. So he mastered explaining and he mastered debating. And now what's the third activity? Suglag ni ki doing kanrung lek batsom. Somba che so. He could somba. What's that? Compose books. And either of the great two types of books required. Suklak we had yesterday, and I'm sure you will remember.
Chuklakan.
Extremely ancient word for book, pustaka, okay? And why he says the two kinds of books, I don't know. Could be open and secret, okay? I don't. But he was good at writing commentaries, okay? Good at.
Is root text and commentary or no?
Could be.
I think it's ebooks and audio.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Anyway, he got those three. He was able to do the three activities of a master. And salam kone kontu parwa, the sa and the lam seiji, he kept going higher and higher.
On the paths and on the levels?
Yeah. Then he mastered sung, which I'll give $50 for the Sanskrit, except a word.
Tarani?
Dharani, yeah, somebody said that.
Hassel already got it, Dharani. Yeah. We studied Dharani in the Medicine Buddha teachings. We went very deep into it. And it means mantra, but it's much deeper than that. And it has very, very deep meanings. If you're interested, you can read the Mixed Nuts translation of the 2 volumes of the Medicine Buddha Sutras. We finished all of them. And Popa. Courage. Yeah, it has a specific meaning in the teachings, and Ben's going to tell us next class about it because it's in his book. There's 3 classic Popas, and I don't remember. But it's in your book, Ben. I taught it in.
Okay.
I don't remember what they are.
Okay. Some kind of courage.
It is, but it's not what it sounds like. That's why I'm asking you to do it.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. The 3 chutzpahs, we'll call it.
Yeah, 3 kinds of chutzpah. Rangda Shenge, then he could temba that serab of himself and other people.
He could remember the past lives.
Yeah, he could remember the past lives of himself and other people. Rup with an S on it means a stream of lives. Okay, serab. What's the Sanskrit?
Tantra or
Santana.
Santana?
Well, the whole thing together is Jataka, like the Jataka tales.
Sure.
Kirab or Tserab. Gatong, he could remember 100 past lives. He could remember 1,000 past lives. He got Ngumba Shepa, Abijna. He got clairvoyance, okay? And he got Zutru.
Miracle powers.
Yeah, and he could walk through walls, etc. Okay. Topa Mema Tupa. Tokme means
Sangha.
means he could walk through things as if they weren't there. Okay. Nangdu. So on the Nangdu, what's that?
On the inside.
He became a Wangshuk, an Ishvara of the Gyaltses. Yeah, the Bodhisattvas, ladies or men. Okay, Bodhisattvas. Okay. Zepe, he became a master.
Geshe, doesn't it say he became a Wangchuk of the Bodhisattva levels?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. Gyaltse say Wangchuk. He became a master of the levels of the Bodhisattva, the 10 levels. Okay.
Is that to say he's a Buddha though?
I don't know. It doesn't say 10th level exactly.
Okay.
I don't recall anyone thinking he was a Buddha, but I don't think they're trying to say that.
Okay, thank you.
By the way, there's 2 kinds of biographies in Tibetan. One, you could change the name and you wouldn't tell it was a different person. And they're just like, oh, he was the most wonderful and wise. And they're very dry and boring. And I avoid those biographies because they don't tell you anything. And I chose this one because he has real information. He'll tell you what really happened in his life. So when I choose a biography, I read like 5 of them. And then I bring you the one which is the real biography and not just blah, blah. Because some of them are just, shamelessly blah, blah. And I can't even finish them. Okay. Seiji, now you're going to pick somebody else and you're going to critique their reading.
Right, let's see. Who do we have here? Alex, are you translating? Yeah. Oscar, do you want to go?
Yes, thank you. Dunda yang chirul tampa mayimpe. Kiwo nam ki ngortsowa tempatang. Nyelwatang. Shangchi dorwa ma tokle pang pamlokpa sokshan kangyang ma sepe shusu ku.
Usuku.
Oh.
Usuku.
Tendu shesumpa shetrakso.
You guys know this story, and now you can say you read it in the original. Okay? Da means to spend your time, to pass your time. Da means to spend your time, to pass your time. When he was passing the time of day, on the outside, Chiro, Tampa Mayambe Kewa Nam, Ki Ngor means to their eyes. To their eyes of people who were not so pure themselves. to the eyes of people who were not so pure themselves. He soa den. This spelling of soa means what? Like lokso.
The work.
Nick had the 5 loksos.
So
Yeah,
make a living.
livelihood.
Yeah, livelihood. But here in this context, it means the act of stuffing yourself. Okay, eating.
Mm.
People watched him in the monastery, and he was very interested in the meals. Okay, soa temba. And he was very interested in nyawa.
Sleeping.
And he was very interested in Shang-Chi Dorwa. By the way, the carver said he loved to explain things. I corrected it. It's
Mhm.
Cheek, it's Shang-Chi.
Pooping and peeing.
Poo-poo and pee-pee. And Dorwa means to do poo-poo and pee-pee. It means to eliminate. Dorwa means to eliminate poo-poo and pee-pee. So, huh?
What's the wrong part?
Seiji is totally wrong.
What does it mean?
I corrected it to Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Oh, Seiji means he was good at explaining things.
Oh.
Yeah. So, you guys don't even see it, but I fixed the books for months before you see them. And there are thousands of carvings. And you don't even see that work. So hundreds of hours to fix it. So anyway, Shang-Chi means, Shang means poo-poo and Chi means pee-pee in the ancient words, okay? They are ancient words. Shang-Chi, Dorwa, Matok, except for that, he didn't lekbam lokpa.
Study.
Yeah, reading scripture. He wasn't interested, okay? Nobody ever saw him reading scriptures. So Shen and other similar activities, Kangyang Madze, he didn't do it, okay? Therefore, people gave him the name
Usuku.
Busuku, okay, Busuku. And the Sanskrit, that's Sanskrit, and the Tibetan translation is Dushe Simboa. What's that?
After 3 thoughts.
Mr. 3 Thoughts, eating, sleeping, and pooping. Mr. the expert in 3 things. So they gave him this name. By the way, I'm going to show you something here. I honored him by putting the Busuku picture here. Okay? I don't know, Seiji, how we're going to get it in your cover. Here's the standard Shantideva picture, which is so boring. And here's from an ancient carving of the 8,000 verses. And Seiji, can you read the caption? Som? It's difficult to read because it's carved. Som ke ka la shekpa busuku. There's the Sanskrit in Tibetan letters, busuku. So I found this carving of him like 30 years ago, and I love it. And some K means the great author, the great writer. Kala Shekpa, flying through the sky. Mr. Busuku, Mr. 3 Thoughts. Okay, and it's so cool that there's a carving of him. By the way, this is a set of carvings that are extremely interesting and extremely beautiful. And they were done in Lhasa in the 1940s, probably. And I think the carver died because after about 100 pages, they all get very boring, and he's got this Picasso kind of worldview, and they're extraordinary carvings of the 80 yogis, for example. YSI should use these carvings. They have the 80 great Mahasiddhas who met Tsongkhapa and protected the first Manlan Chimbo. And he used to work with them. And so anyway, those are extremely beautiful carvings. AOL gave away these carvings like 30 years ago to the world public. Everybody uses them now, which is really cool. Okay, back to Busuku. Let's see.
What is his? Oh,
Excuse me?
What was he supposed to be doing in there?
Yeah.
I mean, is that somehow an illustration of that?
Oh yeah, we're not there yet. It's coming.
Oh. Okay.
It comes in his biography. Why he's flying to the sky, we're gonna get there. Okay. Seiji, pick on somebody.
All right.
You have to pick on somebody else.
What do we have here? Oh, Tina Liu, do you want to give it a go? No? Okay.
Hey, who's the Busaku?
Let's see. Joy Chen.
By the way, word, I studied the word Busaku for quite some time, and I can't see any roots or anything. I guess it's just some local dialect or something.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking about it. I'll take a look. Too.
I mean, you can try, but I gave up.
No problem. I'll look. Thanks again.
Oh, you're muted. There you go.
They say, Ngon Shay Me Ba Nam Ki Run Tu Jun Wei Ja Wan Ni Ko Lot Sum Kiro Pa Ne Ngain Basha Da Yin Bala Din Hang Tang Yang Mi Tembe Dape Yin Bala
Depe.
Tepe Yin Bala Long Che Tu Mi Rung Wei Rung Wei Rakba Ja
Jepacha.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's a problem with this sentence, and I haven't figured it out yet. But I'll tell you the parts I do understand. There were some people in his monastery who did not have Ngunshe.
Clairvoyance.
They could not read his mind. So they took his outer appearance to be correct. Okay. Ngunshe Mepa Namki. Raptu Chungwe Jawa means, look, ordained people, Raptu Chungwa, who have left the home life, the things they should be doing is the Korlo Sumki Jawa. I don't know what they're referring to, but 3 activities of a monk. Chiro, it could be Chiro. They were not doing the 3 activities of a monk. And I think we had them in the Vinaya text they're like getting your vows, keeping your vows, and then protecting your vows or confessing. Getting your vows, keeping your vows, and confessing properly, like those things. So Shata Yinla, they were not keeping those 3. There were some naughty monks judgmental monks in the monastery, and they couldn't read his mind. And they said, Di Kayan Mindemba, he doesn't have any good qualities in him. Okay. And this is a very famous Vinaya expression. De pe Chimbala Longche de Mirung means Mirungwa means what word?
Inappropriate or not proper?
Inappropriate, that he is long chipa.
That he's enjoying the monastery's stuff.
Yeah, it's improper that such a person should be partaking of the hard-earned cash offerings of our supporters. And that's a very serious monastic responsibility. You have to recognize that the people who are supporting you work hard for that money, and you shouldn't waste it. And you shouldn't, if you eat food which was bought from the hard-earned pay of normal people on the outside, and you don't work hard in your monastic life, it's actually so you can get cancer and things like that. It's supposed to be a poison. It becomes a poison in your body. So they said, look, he's eating the monastery food. Jepe Jimba means given by the faithful. And it's mirung. It's wrong. He shouldn't be here. It's giving our monastery a bad name. Mr. Three Thoughts. Okay. So Jempa means let's chase him out. Chepa is a very kind of rough word here. It's like tar and feather him. You know, it's like, let's get this guy out of town. Let's chase him out of town. Chepa means that. Okay, you guys haven't seen it before. All right, who's next, Seiji?
Let's see. Emily?
She, you know, Gibson's gonna whisper in her ear.
Tay yang tok tang Ray Wapa
Chepa.
Wrong Udu Dru
Good.
Yang Na Tok Tang Pa Sowa
So
Sowe Yaso
Gyalse.
Gyalse Tite Tap Wa Tap Wa Tap
Tabu.
Tapu
Yeah.
Tapu Tak Kikala Nu Ze Za Ima Sepa
Shalki Mashepe. Good. Okay, good.
Chalkima Sepe. Thank you.
Dodun means, what is that, Mr. Kramer, in the first chapter of the Yoga Sutra?
Swadhyaya?
Swadhyaya, yeah. Everybody mistranslates it. What's it really mean?
Recitation.
Reciting.
Yeah.
Mantra.
So there was a custom in those times that maybe once a week, one of the monks would get up in front of all the other monks and recite from memory a sutra, which is called Swadhyaya in Sanskrit. And many people mistranslate it in the Yoga Sutra to, I forget, self-study or something like that. Then Re Chepe. So there was a custom for people to recite and also explain a sutra maybe once a week. Okay, Chepe. Then they had a plan. They said, let's ask him to recite a sutra and explain it in public to the monastery. Bu means kick somebody out of the monastery. And they said he will auto kick himself out. It's a very cute word in Tibetan, and it's invented here for you guys. He will auto kick himself out. We don't have to do anything. You know, he'll embarrass himself, and then he'll have to leave the monastery. Okay, so Rang Buddha Do. Nyamne, they were thinking to themselves. So Solwa means Soanda, to request, to make.
Supplicate.
Yeah, it's one of the 7 practices that you guys did in your retreat every day. Do Dimba Suwa. So Suwa means they requested him. Usually Suwa means ask your Lama to stay and to teach. But here it means, please dun the do. Please Svadhyaya. Please recite the sutra. Please be the sutra reciter and sermon giver this week. Okay. Denba Sowe. Gyalse D, this Gyalse, this son of the Buddhas, meaning Bodhisattva or daughter. De Dabu, that kind of thing. Dak means me. Kalanu. Kala means how on earth. Nu means be able to. He's like, Kalanu. You know, how could a dummy like me, you know, how could I recite the sutra and explain the sutra? He's like, Kalanu. Kala means kuta in Sanskrit. How could I ever do that? Okay. And mashepa. This shepa means to agree to a plan.
No, he didn't agree.
Mashepa.
He didn't agree.
Yeah, and with shell, which is high honorific for mouth, Shalki Mashepa means he deigned not to do it. Okay, he did not agree to be the sutra reciter for the week. Okay, because he said, "Look, I'm just a dummy. I'm a busuku." All right, but they wanted to get him out of the monastery, so you can guess what happened next. Who's up, Seiji?
Let's see, Isabel.
Ooh.
Yes. I might need help.
lá yang na thang chế
Yeah.
để số
So we
cho wei để ở na yin chế cho ja gi chế pa na na bei ye ye pa để đã gi pa na this one is
Landry.
lắng okay lắng chế đi đông thang get đông
And then
get đông ta chế du par
Pe-
du bei bu su ji ja đông na te forgot bei bei yeah ki tong po sang na de la guitar j pa da yang mi she so na pana.
Awesome.
yay, very brave. You could do the sutra reciting. All right. La Yang, Nenten means they insisted. Nenten means they insisted. Okay, La Yang means again and again they insisted. To whom? Busuku. Okay. Come on, you can do it. Let's try. Give it a try. Kete Soe. They asked him over and over again, insistently. Then finally he said, Detar, Gyo? Gyo means I'll do it. Okay, I agree, I'll do it. Okay, Gyo and Shelkishe means to accept a proposal. Okay, he's agreed to do it. Okay, then those Nyepa Chepa guys, Nyepa means to insult somebody. So those insulters, the other monks who wanted to get him out, they decided, let's set up a throne in the middle of the main assembly hall of Nalanda Monastery. This is the Harvard of Buddhism in 2,000 years, or I should say Princeton, or Stanford. But this is the greatest Buddhist monastery in history, okay? The greatest Buddhist monastic university in history. So they built Nalanda, the Nalanda monastery. They got all the monks from Nalanda to come. And in the middle of that room, they put a tree tumbo. Chi means a throne, teaching throne. Tumbo means extremely high, like you could say 25 feet high, something. Okay, in the middle of all these greatest scholars of Indian history. Donga, it means five face, and it's a name for a mythical lion. It's a lion with five mouths full of teeth, and it's like a magic lion. What do you call that? Chimera? Yeah. Yeah. And Jigdal means fearless. It's very similar to Jigme, who you may know. It's the same thing. Jigdal, Jigme, same thing. Five face, fearless, and usually there's four lions holding up the throne in the four directions, and they got these five faces, and they're very fierce. So they're carved on the throne, and then they put the throne on top. But it's like 25 feet high, 8 meters high. Mie tekpa. By the way, that tekpa means held up by the lions. That tekpa became tekpa, Mahayana. It means capacity, greater capacity or lesser capacity. Mahayana, Hinayana. The yana is tekpa. And here you see it in its real use as a verb, to bear the weight of a heavy thing. So Mahayana actually means great vehicular capacity. Okay. Gendun Tekbe Chitumbo. Sham means they set forth a throne like that. And they didn't construct steps to the throne. Okay, just to add to the insult. They didn't put steps. So I remember when we had high lamas come to New Jersey, we had to build special thrones. And the steps were a big deal because they might slip, or, we had to spend many days on the steps. And so they built the whole throne and no steps, okay, as a joke to insult him, okay. And so Zekbak Dak Kyang Mishe, nobody could have been able to climb up to the throne. Okay, Nyamna, they had this plan. Okay, Nyamba.
So can you tell the Mishe is like they don't know how to get up or something?
Yeah, nobody would know how to get up. Exactly. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to get up there. Okay. They thought he wouldn't know how to get up on top of the throne. Okay. Okay, Seiji, here comes the good part. Give it to somebody sweet.
Let's see, who do we have here? Oh, Gibson, are you there? Well, no, Gibson is. Let's see.
Yeah,
Ina.
I'm here.
No, but your Tibetan is better than. But yeah, do you want to read it?
Just can
No, give it to Ina.
Okay.
I'm reading.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Hi, Ina, we miss you.
Hi, Geshe-la. I also miss you. Had some nice time here. Andrei,
Hi, the great dancer.
Andrei is in Chicago now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Gelse di chaki chunse ne tendu tokpa me parshek.
Nice. You should become a translator. Gelse, this Gelse, this Bodhisattva, he put his chak, his hand, that's the high honorific word for hand. Nen means pressed on the, he reached up and he like pressed on the edge of the cushion. And then Topa Mebershik. He
Easily went up to the top.
Yeah, he was on top. Suddenly he's on top. So he just goes, and by the way, some biographies say he reached out his hand like an elephant's trunk, and it kept going farther and farther and farther. I got 25 feet high and then touch on the edge, and then boom, he's at the top. And everybody's like, whoa, how do you do that? Okay, Chimte memory. Tendu, Topa Meba in Sanskrit?
Asanga.
Asanga. So without any trouble at all. Okay. He just suddenly he's up on top. Okay. Okay, who's next, Seiji?
Let's see. Marina, do you want to go?
Yeah, Marina.
Okay, I can. Tenet don gun che drak pashik.
Nice.
Donam
Nice.
ma drak pashik.
Nice.
Don che kacel pas.
Ping.
Pengen ma drak pashik sunu pashik.
Shupe. Nice. Good. You
We have
pronounced.
less than a minute, Geshe-la.
I think just coming to Sedona gave you a blessing. Okay. Okay, I can finish in 1 minute, boss. Don't worry. Ngunshe means before. Okay. Do means sutra, right? Drakpa means one that somebody has already. Drakpa means spread or to talk about, teach. Dun means to recite, right? We talked about it. Nam means or. Okay, which means, would you like me to teach you guys a sutra which already exists, or Madhapa Shigden, should I teach you a new sutra, which I wrote? Okay. And they're like, huh? And he said, do you want me to teach a sutra that you guys already know? Or maybe I'll read you my own sutra. Okay.
Does he calls it a sutra?
He does call it a do here.
Okay.
It's not really a sutra, but a scripture. Okay. Do you want a scripture that you all know? Or can I recite one of my own? And they're like, yeah. No, Madhapa, we'll take yours. We'll take yours. Yeah. Shu means, oh, everybody's like, yeah. Their shu means they're all like, yeah, we want yours. Come on, let's hear yours, you know. And they're hoping he will embarrass himself more. Okay. Give us that one you wrote yourself. Yeah, right. Okay, like that. And tune in next week for the exciting conclusion.
Geshe-la.
And by the way, we couldn't do any Sanskrit today because we're reading the Tibetan biography, but we'll do Sanskrit next. You had a question, Dr. Wood?
I figured out Busuku.
In the Sanskrit?
Yeah.
Maybe you have to be a Busuku to understand the word. I don't know. What?
Or appear to be one, right?
My wife told me I shouldn't insult you guys like that, but I think it's
no, it's a compliment, right? Yeah, it's an acronym. That's why you can't find a etymological derivation. Bu means to eat. It's a long U. Su comes from supta, which means to lay down, like supta something. And I haven't seen the poo yet, but it's supposed to mean defecate as well.
Still working on the poo-poo. How did you figure that out, if I may ask?
I cross-referenced like 6 sources, and then I put in the Tibetan for each in Lokesh Chandra, and then it was obvious.
Amazing. So it's like
Yes, exactly. That's what it is.
It's the beginning of the 3 words.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. Thank you. Sometimes, the sun came out. Never mind. Okay, Seiji, thank you.
Thank you, Geshe-la.
DCI, and thank you for supporting my family. I really appreciate it. All right. You guys in 5 minutes, right?
Yes, sir. 5 minutes. Thank you, Geshe-la, and thanks everybody.
What's up next, Nick?
That'll be Venerable Upala.
Well, that's a hard one. You guys take a 1 hour break. Okay.
Thanks, Geshe-la. Thanks, Nick.
Nice.
See you in a few.